Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nadzri bin Damiri and I am from S2554A. So today I would like to give some presentation about the monsoon madness in a sea country, which is Southeast Asia, and I am more focusing about the flooding in Mekong Delta River, which is in Vietnam. By the way, this video is prepared for Madam 1 Siti Atikah, binti 1 Omar. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy my presentation.
So first of all, we can take a look to the history first. So the Mekong River Delta is one of the most important rice growing regions in the world. Mekong River is one of 12 great rivers of the world. It flows through China, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia and also Vietnam before draining into the South China Sea. So when the river is in flood stage, it silted delta outlets which are unable to carry off the high volume of water. As the flood subsides, the flow of water reverses and proceeds from the lake to the sea. So the effect is to reduce significantly the danger of devastating floods in the Mekong Delta, where the river floods the surrounding fields each year to a level of 1 to 2 meters. So Vietnam is increasingly becoming a magnet for foreign direct investment. Why? Because the government of Vietnam places a high priority on its reform program and on the coordination of donors and their activities. So Vietnam's population is more than 83 million, of which means 70% live in and rely on agricultural areas, where the major on cash crop is rice farming. So the Mekong River Delta is home to 17.3 million people, which making it the most populated area of the basin. So at the current time, Vietnam is a relatively poor country. Why? Because it is estimated in 19.5% of the total population living below the poverty line. So the economic development, however, still relies on natural resources, particularly agriculture, fisheries and also forestry. Next is severity and frequency. So the Mekong River Delta experiences annual flooding during monsoon season, which is between July until November. And the major floods with devastating impacts occur regularly, like the 1999 and also the 2006 events. So the flood severity and frequency are increasing due to two causes. So for the first natural causes is monsoon season. In this case, the Mekong River experiences heavy rainfall during the monsoon season, typically from May to October. So this will this influx of water naturally leads to higher levels and also will potential to be overflows. So next one is topography. The Mekong Delta is a low-lying alluvial plain with minimal elevation, so it will allows floodwaters to spread easily for longer durations. So the next one is human-made causes. So the first causes is deforestation. Extensive deforestation in the upstream parts of the Mekong Basin will reduce the soil's ability to absorb rainwater. So it will lead to faster runoff and increased flood peaks during the monsoon season. The next one is dams and hydropower projects. So the construction of dams and hydropower projects will disrupt the natural flow of water and also impacting downstream communities and also altering flood patterns. Now we move on to the mitigation approach. So the Mekong Delta faces a complex challenge with flooding, which requiring a combination of efforts from the government, private sector and also the local communities. Here are some potential mitigation approaches. So now, firstly we take a look to the government first. So firstly we have infrastructure development. So I think the government should invest in improve the dikes, the drainage systems and also the flood control structures. Next one is the land use planning. So in this case, it has to implement comprehensive land use plans which consider flood risk and prioritize protection each of the critical infrastructure and also the natural ecosystems. So next one is the early warning systems. In this case, it can develop and implement effective early warning system for floods, coupled with evacuation plans and also public awareness campaigns. Okay. Lastly, we have the investment in research and development. So this kind of efforts will support the research on flood resistant crops, climate resilient infrastructure and also innovative adaptation strategies. So next one is the based on the private sector. So firstly, we have invest in climate smart agriculture. So these efforts require the developing and the promoting the flood resistant crop varieties, climate resilient farming practices, and also sustainable aquaculture. So next one is the ecotourism development. So these efforts require the support ecotourism initiative that will help to promote the conservation of mangroves and other natural ecosystem which is vital for flood protection. So the third one is the flood resistant infrastructure. So these efforts will encourage private companies to invest in the development and construction of flood resistant buildings and also infrastructure. So last but not least is public-private partnerships. So they have to foster collaboration between the government and also the private sector to leverage resources and expertise for effective flood mitigation efforts. This approaches is based on the local communities. So firstly, we have mangrove reforestation. So I think the local communities should participate in mangrove restoration and conservation initiatives to protect the coastline and buffer against storm surges. So next one is the traditional knowledge sharing. So it is a simple efforts which can promote the integration of traditional knowledge and practices into flood preparedness and also respond the strategies. So the third one is community-based water management. So in this effort, they can build local capacity for managing water resources through participatory initiative and also resource sharing. So last but not least is the flood preparedness and response training. So in these efforts, they can provide training for local communities on flood preparedness, evacuation procedures, and also emergency response measures. The last part of this presentation is about the suggestion and reflection of this method. We take a look to the reflection of the problem first. So, the increasing severity and frequency of floods in the Mekong Delta present a complex and urgent challenge. So, the climate change acts as a potent accelerant, excavating existing vulnerabilities and also demanding transformative solutions. Besides that, the human cost of flooding is immense, which impacting millions through livelihoods losses, health risks, and also displacement. So the economic implications are very significant, which hindering the development and creating a vicious cycle of poverty and also of the vulnerability. So lastly is the Mekong Delta's unique geography and also dependence of agriculture, which amplify the impacts of flooding. So the traditional flood management strategies are strained, so it will necessitating innovative approaches that will consider both immediate threats and also long-term resilience. This is the important part in this presentation, which is suggestion for action. So firstly, we have prioritized climate action. These efforts means urgent global efforts to mitigate climate change, which are crucial to prevent further intensification of floods and also protect the Mekong Delta in the long run. Next one, invest in resilient infrastructure. It means upgrade and enhance dikes, drainage systems, and flood control structures to withstand stronger and more frequent floods. And also explore nature-based solutions like mangrove restorations and floodplain management. So lastly, to empower local communities. They should build community resilience through capacity building, early warning system, as I mentioned before, and also livelihood diversification efforts. Local knowledge and traditional practices can inform the adaptation strategies to the other people.
So that's all from me. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day.